The views expressed in this podcast are solely based on personal experience and is not intended to replace professional medical advice. Our opinions should not be taken as therapeutic advice, as this podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Police Condition. My name's Ryan, and sitting across from me and always standing beside me, my lovely wife, Laura.
Hello.
It's been a while. We know. We apologize, but hey, we had a baby, so
Had a baby.
what are you going to do about it? We did. We had another beautiful little girl, and she is happy and healthy, and Mama's doing great. So we
Yes.
appreciate everybody for reaching out.
Thank you. It was a long labor. No, it wasn't. It was great.
Not long at all.
Not at all. Fourth one just pops right out.
Pops right out. Fell right out. Barely made it.
Yeah. No, she's great.
So tonight we are going to be talking about hobbies.
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 Hobby.
What kind of hobbies do you have?
You know, when you're a cop or a firefighter, your life becomes copping and firefighting, and sometimes that's all you do. And, you know, a lot of guys have hobbies like shooting and stuff, but, you know, that's kind of still being a cop. Like, I love shooting. I love going out and shooting, but it's still kind of being a cop. That's part of the job, right? So what else can you do? What else do other people do?
What do you do?
I play hockey.
Oh. Oh, okay.
I think I've said it before, but yeah, like I started playing hockey in the last year, and I love it. It's been great. It's fun. It's give me a good workout, you know.
Hmm.
I love the team aspect. I'm actually on a team playing in a league, so it's super fun.
Why is it fun for you?
It just gets that energy out. It's getting energy out that I didn't realize I still had, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because I feel like I get home from a 12-hour shift working nights, I'm dead tired.
Yeah.
But if I I can go play hockey tonight, that kind of gives me some energy. It makes me happy. It makes me excited. Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy playing.
From a wife and clinical perspective of this, I think the last time you went out to play, I think it was a game. It was a roller hockey game. And you were having pretty a crappy day that day. You were off, but it was just like the kids were stressing you out, and you were just like kind of just down in the dumps. And you were almost thinking not going. Then you went, and you came back, and you were like a different person.
Yeah.
You were like happy and like just cheerful and like just a different person.
Got those endorphins pumping.
Yeah, definitely. But even just within that, small time frame of doing it, like you were happy, but I think that just motivated you through the week too.
Yeah, it really does. And, you know, it sucked with my schedule. Like I said, I'm on a league, I'm playing on a team, but I only get to play half the time because of my schedule. Because we play on Sundays, and I work every other Sunday, so that kind of sucks.
But it's something to look forward
But
to.
I definitely look forward to it. Like tomorrow, because we're doing this on a Saturday night, tomorrow will be my first game of the season, even though they've already played one.
Yeah.
But I'm super pumped, and you get to come watch because our kids are gone. We only have the infant for the weekend.
Yeah.
So you actually get to come and watch me play.
I'm excited.
Take some awesome pictures of me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's all you care about.
That's all I want. Just some cool action shots of me
You
not falling on the ground.
You better make a goal, though.
Yeah,
Score a
I'm
goal.
going to have to score a goal, right? Shit,
yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. But I feel like hobbies, especially with hockey, like it's very active, physically active activity that's good for you. It's going to pump your endorphins, like you said, make you happy. But I think any hobby, whether that's that or like going out and playing cards with somebody or like drawing or whatever it is, it's been known to lower blood pressure and lower cortisol, which is your stress hormone. So when you're doing things like that, it's taking not only your mind off of what you do every day, which is super stressful, but it's something that's enjoyable that you can look forward to. There's motivation for you. I feel like not only do you have the physicality to that, but you have the camaraderie. You're on a team. You get to know these guys. You get the social aspect of like getting to know new people and play a game that you all love. So you kind of connect there, but it's something that's very much outside of law enforcement that you can enjoy.
Oh, yeah. No one on my team is a cop.
Yeah.
And I think only one guy, which I don't know if he's even on the team anymore, was in the Marine Corps. You know, we talked about that, but I don't think he's playing with us this year.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a completely
It's a whole different world.
whole different world, and it's nice because I met some people that are not cops, and
Yeah.
aren't military, and like I've become friends with some of these guys, and it's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah, exactly. And of course, they ask me what I do, and I tell them, and then they want to talk about cop stuff. Sometimes everybody always wants to ask, well, how is it? Do you like doing it? What do you?
Yeah.
I don't mind talking about it, but
Yeah.
mostly we talk about hockey,
Mm.
and it's a beer league, so we get to drink beer too.
It's
So
always fun.
we get to drink beer after the games. Some guys before the games.
Yeah. And it's so far removed from like family life. So like if you were like, I want to play some video games, you're still at home. You still have your family there and stuff like that, which is great. But I feel like even that aspect of things, like your brain kind of registers that as like I still support my family and I support my family by being a cop. So it's like you're still in that environment. So like if you can get completely out of that environment, like you do, like with hockey, I think that's amazing. Like that's something that a lot of people don't have.
Right. And, we haven't gotten to play in a long time, but, we played airsoft too.
Yeah,
And that was a hobby for a while, and
that was
I
fun.
loved playing that. You came out and played, and we had a hell of a time doing that,
Yeah.
and you're exactly, and that's, it's not law enforcement, but it's still the military kind of thing. But it's super fun because you get to shoot people and you don't get in trouble for it.
You don't kill them
Yeah,
either.
you're not killing anybody, and you're having fun, and everybody I met doing that too. Random people we'd meet. If you didn't hear, there's the new baby. But yeah, so you meet random people, and most of the guys we met and we played with, they were just really cool dudes. There's a few guys out there that were wannabes and acted like they were military guys and that they were like tactical gods when they weren't. But those are the guys I stay away from because those just aggravate me.
Where they aggravate you.
Because they think they're something they're not. They like to act like they're hardcore, and it's like they've never even shot a real. I mean, some of them probably have, but you know what I mean. They've never been in a hairy situation because that's not what they do. They're just kids still, kind of. That's
Yeah.
but
You definitely tell out there too, like the ones that are just laid back trying to have fun, different from those guys that
right.
really want to prove themselves in airsoft. That's interesting.
It's like, what are you trying to prove here? It's
Yeah.
just a game, man. It's just fun.
Some people, but I love that though too. Like, okay, there's a little bit of arrogance to that, but you're so into that hobby, like you like immerse yourself into it. I think that's great.
Yeah.
No matter what.
I mean, it's fun.
Yeah.
But as I said, sometimes those guys that get too into it, they make it not fun for everybody else.
I see what you're saying.
Because they're just
over the top.
Too much.
This is life. Airsoft is
Airsoft
life.
is life kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
And I used to do, which we haven't gotten to do that in a long time either, and it's just because all my stuff got destroyed by the kids.
Yeah.
But I got into building and painting models and minis and playing like it's war games, but it's with miniatures and stuff. And yeah, it's very nerdy. I know. I'll straight up say it. It's super nerdy, but I got really into it. Building models. I've always loved building models and building things, but then building it and then painting it and then building like the sceneries and everything like that. Like it was just really cool, and immerse yourself in that and like getting like, oh, I'm actually here, like in this world. And the one we played was World War II, and just it was really cool. Like, and you'd go back, and it was very history oriented, obviously, because it's World War II, and you'd read about actual battles, and you could play those battles. It's a neat little thing, I think I love playing it, but mainly I think building and painting and making it my own thing was cool.
So I feel like you gravitated a lot to things that you really enjoyed. Obviously, with the minis, it was like the war and the history, and that really like interested you. Hockey is a sport. I think there's a lot of people that have like-minded interests in sport, and you just want to go out and do that because you watch hockey too. So
yeah, I love hockey.
Yeah, but like, what would be your advice to somebody who kind of, doesn't have any interests, that like needs a release of a hobby but doesn't really have one? Like how would you tell, like, if a friend was like, hey, yeah, like that's awesome you're doing that, like I wish I had something like that, what do you think I should do to get myself out of this like mindset of just like work and family?
Go do something.
Like what?
Just who cares? Just find something
new.
Try something new. Exactly.
Okay.
Like, I mean, you're never going to find something you like if you don't try something. I love hockey. I love watching hockey. Never played it in my life. Didn't grow up playing. I played baseball growing up. I played a little bit of football growing up. Never played hockey growing up. The Dallas Stars do a thing where you can go out and they do some training sessions on the ice, and you can buy the gear from them and stuff. They give you gear to use, and they teach you a little bit. The first day I got out there, I was in love. Like, it was just the funnest thing. Like, it was so fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's just, I enjoy it. It's ice play. I don't play, I don't play games on ice. We go out, me and my son will go out on the ice sometimes and practice, but we play roller hockey more just because it's easier in Texas and it's a little cheaper. Um, but it's the same, and it's the same. You're doing the same stuff, and it's fun. It's just so fun. So, like I said, I'd tell anybody, just like, go out there, go try something new. Like, I've had a couple friends that, one of my close friends that I worked with at my first department, he started playing airsoft with us, and him and his son started coming out, and they loved it. Like I said, we haven't gotten to go out and play in a while since you got pregnant, and then, you can't go out and play with me pregnant, and then it's just, I got new department, so things have just, been hectic the last year, and so it's been tough to get out there. But like I said, I started hockey, and that was random for me. Like, yeah, I love watching. I've been a fan of the Stars for years, and love watching hockey, but playing was something new. Like, I saw this, I took this opportunity, and I've fallen in love with it. I've fallen in love with playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I've said, just go out there, try something new, try anything. Hell, what did we talk about the other day? What we want to go try?
Swing
dancing, exactly.
Yes.
I mean, it's something different. I've never done that. You said you did it once or twice, but like, that's something that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Me and you doing that, like, that's cool stuff, and it's not something I would ever do on my own.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something new to try, and I'm always about, let's go try something. Let's go do something fun,
So let me ask you this, like, when you're either out on the ice or on roller hockey, you're playing a game, where's your mind at?
There. That's where it is. I don't think about anything. I don't have any thoughts of work unless someone asks me what I do, but even then, like
when you're playing
when I'm playing, like, my mind's in the game. I don't think about stressful things from my day. I don't think about stressful things from work. I don't think about how the kids have not shut up all day and have been yelling all day. I'm immersed in hockey.
You're just concentrating on the little Oreo, trying to get into the goal.
The little Oreo.
Yeah. Makes sense.
The frozen biscuit.
Yes. And that's the thing too. Like, it's easy to say, like, when you get off work, like, don't focus on work. Focus on your family. Focus on the things that you're doing presently. It's hard to do that because, something that happened during the day that I dealt with is going to pop in your head, and you're just thinking about it. It's like just a natural thing that happens. Or like, oh, when I tell my boss, when I go in the next day, I have to talk to him about something. There's always something, right? But when you have a hobby, it takes you, like, out of that mind frame, and it puts you in something that isn't stressful, because what you're doing, you hopefully enjoy that because that's why you're doing it, but it immerses you, and it gets you thinking about just that. And you don't have to consciously make that effort to not think about work, to not think about the shit you have to do at home. Like, you are just there playing hockey. That's all that matters. So even if it's an hour for a week, 2 weeks, whatever, you're there for that. And your mind, your body, like, it just escapes from everything else. And that's what lowers your blood pressure. That's what lowers your cortisol levels. That's what ups your endorphins and your dopamine level intake. Like, that's exactly what happens to your body. But it's like, it's so natural that you're not even thinking of it. Like, you don't have to make that conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm meditating now, or like, okay, I'm doing this.
Well, that's what what made me think of this was, a lot of guys say, well, they work out, like, that's a hobby. I don't consider working out a hobby. Working out, we need to do it for the job. Yeah. Because we need to be healthy. We need to be able to do our thing. But I know when I work out, when I'm working out, I think of stressful stuff while I'm working out because it helps me work out a little harder, I feel like, sometimes. But it's not taking me away from the job. And it's so...
But that's what I love about hobbies. It's so unique to the person. Like, if somebody does go work out, like, maybe you might think of, stressful shit or whatever, but just one other person, like, no, they're just focused on, like, how much more weight can I put on this to bench, or like how far I can run or whatever. Like, they're so concentrated on, like, getting gains or like meeting a goal that they've had for a long time that nothing else matters. Sometimes, working out is a hobby for some people.
Right.
Yeah.
Drinking is not a hobby.
It's not, no.
just to get that out there right now.
Drinking is not a
I
hobby.
mean, I love to do it, but it's not a hobby.
Why is that a thought?
Well, because a lot of guys like to drink to get rid of their stress, and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
it
It's
just,
like a coping mechanism
yeah,
that's
they cope with drinking. Well,
labeled as a
that's
hobby.
not a hobby. Drinking's
Okay.
not a hobby. And like you were saying about video games, right? Like video games can be a hobby. Yeah, that could be a good hobby. But in my house, I can't use it as a hobby because if I'm playing a game I want to play, my son's sitting there going, "Dad, I want to play Minecraft. Dad, I want to play Roblox. Dad, I want to do this. I want to do that. Why can't I do that?" So it kind of takes away the hobby part of it
Yeah.
and the relaxing and kind of getting away part of it when I've got a little man sitting there in my ear, "Dad, I want to play. Dad, I want to play."
See, I love Minecraft, so I love playing with him. So that's okay for me. That's kind of my hobby. But you make a good point though. Like, let's say video games, right? Because that's like at the home. You don't have to go somewhere. There's not like a set time where you have hockey. It's like an hour for a game or whatever. I'd be very mindful of that too, because like self care. I feel like having a hobby is self care. So like if you're playing video games for an hour and a half, 2 hours, that's self care. If it's more than that, it's
It becomes
isolation.
more. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I can't even isolate myself though.
No, you can't. No, but you can't do that with hockey either. I feel like because that's a
It's a team sport,
physical
you know.
team sport. You're there for a certain time. But like if you're at the rink, you know, hour to 5 hours a day or something, it's a little obsessive,
I'm not trying to get
excessive.
in the NHL, so
Yeah, but I
I'm a
mean,
little
like
old for that.
even hockey though, like that could be something that is more of an isolation. So you have to be really mindful of that because even you guys have a very stressful job that any type of hobby could become an isolation to you. So like if you're out there and like we don't see you anymore, like that's a big red flag. But if you're doing it once a week, twice a week, even like
Yeah.
that's a great healthy habit.
Well, it's something I also love about it is, our son's gotten into it a little bit, and when they have those stick and puck days where you can go out and just practice,
Yeah,
I get
bring
to take him
him.
with
Yeah.
me, and we get out there and we're doing the hobby, but
Mhm.
we're also getting some good bonding time, some good
Definitely.
father-son time, and
Yeah.
have a great time with it. And it's funny, every time, it doesn't matter when we do it on the ice or in the roller rink, we will skate for a little bit. And I swear to God, it's like 3 minutes in. He's like, "Dad, my legs hurt. Dad, I'm tired. Dad, I'm this. Dad, I'm that." I'm like, "Just get out here and play. Shut up and play." Like, I always
It's
got something.
fun.
This is fun. Enjoy it. But like the last time we went and did that, he got to go out and he got to hang out with a couple guys on my team and play with us, and we were
Yeah.
practicing. So it was really neat.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he loves it too.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah,
So.
he does. I mean, like, even for like the spouse, it's hectic. Whether you have a full time job or you're like a stay at home parent, like it's hard because you do sacrifice that time too. Like I understand that. Like you see your spouse loving something and they're taking that time to do that and you love that for them, but also you're sacrificing taking care of the kids and dealing with the house and stuff. So also, for people who are the family members of law enforcement, like you have time too. Like
You need to
take
get
that
yourself
time.
a hobby. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know there's a lot of guilt there too. Like if I do this then I'm leaving the kids and they're having to deal with them and it's hard that way too.
Oh, am I
But
supposed to feel guilty?
no, me, like I would feel guilty, like, oh, he's with them for like an hour or two, and I feel bad for even leaving the house. But that's just kind of how it goes.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I do like when I leave, I feel bad sometimes, but most of the time my games are later in the evening, so the kids are already in bed
Yeah.
because they're Sunday nights, so the kids are getting in bed, getting ready for school the next day and everything. So that kind of helps, but
Yeah.
it's still, I mean,
Yeah.
you're here by yourself most of the time anyway, and then
Yeah. For
so,
me though, like mine's not like going out and doing things. Like I picked up woodworking or not woodworking. There's a name for it. It's like pyro something.
wood burning,
Wood burning. Yeah. It's like pyro something. I don't know.
yeah,
Pyroglyphics, I'm gonna say. It's probably wrong.
hieroglyphics.
But no, so like when the kids went to bed, I would do that. And it would just be something of an escape to do, even if it's at home and even, you don't have to go anywhere. But even if it's for like an hour or two, like you get to do something that you're doing that's enjoyable and you don't have to sacrifice much time for anybody, but it's something to escape.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to have an escape
It is.
because every life's stressful.
Yeah.
Work stressful, life stressful. I mean,
And it's nice to have that partnership too, as like a spouse, like I said, whether you're working or stay at home, it's the same. Like if you have that communication of like, hey, I need some time, you get that time.
And I very much appreciate you letting me have this time. And like
Yeah.
I said, I'm glad you get to come with me tomorrow. It's
Yeah.
cool that you get to come actually watch because you've only gotten to see one game of mine, and that was the tournament.
You better be much better this time.
Probably not. I mean, I play a little bit more, but I don't get to play that much. I'm probably not going to be that much better.
You better be better.
Oh, God. Now there's a bunch of pressure. Now I'm going to be all worried and pressured.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do horrible.
I want a goal for me in my name, and you better scream my name when you make the goal.
Okay. Oh man! And you know what? Like in these physical hobbies, which the last time I went out, I was shooting a puck and I got too far in my back heel and I fell and I hurt my back, and it sucked because I've been hurting for a while and I'm like I got to get back into the games. They're about to start again and I don't want to be hurting. Thank God I'm starting to feel a little better now. So
man, because it's okay. So you're going out there in hockey. Like there's a lot of things to like consider here because you're doing a physical activity, you get hurt, you fell one time and hurt your back, but then when you go to work, you're putting on all this gear and the black
jacket, my bulletproof vest.
Yes, that sounded weird when I said
flak
it.
Jacket.
Flak jacket.
Well,
yeah.
it's a little bit different, but
Your bulletproof vest, like all this stuff that you're like carrying on you, like you're putting an extra like 20 pounds on you, I'm sure. And like sitting in the car and like the way that you're positioned, like your back is just taking all of that too.
Yeah. There's several times in the last couple of weeks that I've had to just get out of the car and walk around and stretch because I've been so tight and just hurting.
Yeah. Yeah, like keep up with the physical part of things. That might help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying.
Yeah.
It's been hard.
It's hard.
Especially with the baby and the kids. Yeah, it's hard to.
Yeah.
It's hard to find time, but I need to. So.
Oh, God, just having a baby, I need to tone up. It's hard.
It definitely is.
Yeah. When the kids like want to work out with you.
Super cute.
It's super cute. Then you're like, you take a step to the left and you're like, oh my God, there's like 8 kids there. Like, I can't move.
They're always under your feet.
Yeah.
Or I loved it with the one time I was working out and I was doing squats or something. They were like climbing under my legs as I'm doing it. I'm like, oh my God.
They start off cute because they're doing the same thing you're doing, like at a reasonable distance. And then they get like closer and closer to you. You're like, oh, I don't want to hurt you. I'm going to sit on you.
I was doing something. I can't remember. I wasn't doing kicks, but I was doing like low kicks or something. And I almost kicked our daughter, or I did kick her. I can't remember now. Like, I wasn't hard.
Almost
like,
did.
I wasn't kicking hard. Like, it would have hurt, but it would have like knocked her down.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me. I'm like, just get out of the way. Like, move.
They're like jumping on you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you're doing push-ups or anything, and they're jumping on your back. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's cute. They have like those kid workouts too, like on YouTube, like specifically for kids. Like they do that. Oh my God.
Well, they love when I hit the bag, when I'm punching the bag, because I got a heavy bag in the garage. And I'll punch it. And our son wanted his own boxing gloves, his own bag, and he got one for Christmas. So he's been loving that.
Yeah, he definitely has. I don't know, but the kids YouTube like workouts. I put one on one time. I was like, oh, maybe I'll do this with them, and we can both get something beneficial out of it. It was terrible.
Was it good?
No, it was so slow, and like I understand that because it's like from a 3-year-old's perspective, like how to give instructions and stuff. And
but then they don't even do it.
No, they don't. They were like over in the other room playing, and I was like watching it by myself. I was like, wait, like
why am I doing this?
I'm not getting anything out of this. That's hard. That's very hard. But like even going to the gym is kind of hard sometimes too.
Yeah, I mean I don't go to a gym. I work out in the garage just because if I can work out in the garage, the kids can go and ride their bikes, and I can at least watch them while I'm doing it. But
oh, I love that. Right after I had the last one, like you would be doing your burpees or whatever you're doing in the garage, then you'd go like run down the street, and I'd see you. You'd go running, and then like all of a sudden I see like 3 kids running after you down the street.
Running down the street with me, yeah.
So they don't know what they're doing, but they're going with you. It's like whatever. It's cute.
They are cute when they do that stuff.
Yeah.
If they want to work out with me, that's fine. But
yeah,
they don't actually want to work out. They just want to mess around.
Yeah, definitely.
Or when I was doing box jumps, and they're like, "Oh, we want to get on that," and they're like stepping up on it. I'm like, "Go, move."
This is for me.
Yeah, I need this right now.
So how would you say, like, okay, so your games are on Sunday, so The long weekends, if you're off, you get to play. So obviously, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So you're going back to work on Monday. So you play a game on Sunday. You feel really good about it. How is your mindset, your motivation, everything that happens to you at work on Monday? Is it different? Do you see a difference?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, I feel better. I feel like I have more energy from it. Get those endorphins pumping from playing. Because like I said, it's a physical game. It's a physical hobby. So
Yeah.
get those endorphins pumping, and it really makes me feel good for the week. It's the
Okay.
same as like working out. Like if I'm off and like I worked the night before, a lot of times I'll get up, and if I don't work out, I'll be super tired all day, and
Yeah.
I'll be kind of grumpy and stuff, because I'm just my body's changing from the night and trying to be up for the day to hang out with everybody. But I
Hmm.
realize, when I work out in the mornings, if I do something physical like that, like there was one about a week or two ago where like I woke up and I worked out that morning, and then that night, like the kids were jumping on me and we were just playing and having a good time. And I played for a long time with them. And
Hmm.
a lot of times I'd get like, after a few minutes of doing the same thing over and over again, I'd be tired of it. Like,
Yeah.
as well as I was picking up the kids and like pushing them and throwing them in the air or something
Yeah.
like that, right? And after a while, it gets tiring. But like, I did it for like 30 minutes with them. And normally it'd only be like 10. And I was
Yeah.
like, I had so much more energy. And it's the
Hmm.
same with doing my go and play hockey on a Sunday. Like, it gives me more energy the next day. Like, because I'm all excited from it. And then in my mind, I'm like, oh, I can't wait till the next Sunday I can play because I had so much fun. And it's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. So let me ask you this then. I'm curious. So, like, hockey as a hobby, obviously very physical. It's going to get your endorphins pumping. It's going to give you energy. Going to build you more healthily. That's a word. I'm using it. So then, like, your body's reacting to that the next day, so your endorphins are pumping again. So is there a difference between like playing hockey on Sunday, going to work on Monday, than doing your minis on Sunday and going to work on Monday?
I haven't done the minis in a while.
Mm.
So it's kind of hard to really compare. But yeah, just thinking about it and just, you know, physiologically, of course it's different
What
because
about psychologically?
psychologically, yeah, probably still a little bit different just because the physical side makes you, I don't know, I feel like it gets everything pumping, even your brain. And when you're doing the minis and stuff, like I like to do it quiet, when I'm doing it, or I'll put like a World War II documentary on or something like that and watch it while I'm painting because I'm painting little World War II guys.
Yeah.
And that's more of a chill thing, I
Mm.
guess. And it doesn't do as much as a physical does.
Okay, so scale from 1 to 10. One being you're down in the dumps, you're just depressed, to 10 being you're super happy, almost, I wouldn't say euphoric, I think that's a little extreme, but super happy, you're go getter, motivated, just in that good state of mind. Like, when it comes to after playing hockey, where would you scale yourself on
Definitely close to an 8 or 9.
that? Okay.
Like it's up there. It's high.
And you're done painting your miniatures, listening to like war videos in the background, like what would you scale yourself on that?
Probably about a 5 or 6. I mean, it's lower.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely lower. Like I
Yeah.
said, I think just the being out there and being physical, it just does so much more for your body and your brain, and
Yeah.
everything's really pumping. Like, I mean, nothing's really pumping when I'm painting minis. I'm not getting yes, yeah, getting a pump from painting minis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And it's interesting. Like, the more neurotransmitters and like hormones that secrete when you do that, obviously physiologically you're going to get your endorphins pumping with dopamine and serotonin, but and I think norepinephrine does that too with physicality, but with painting minis, I think that's more of a cognitive kind of hobby.
yeah,
You're going to get your dopamine, but you're not going to get your endorphins as much as you would like working out.
that's why I feel like it's not as high. Like, I mean, it's
Yeah.
still, I feel good from doing it when I did it, and like I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get the endorphins pumping as much. So
Okay. Okay. So you're saying physical hobbies would probably be better for people who have high stress jobs, like police officers.
I would think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think any hobby is nice just to get your mind off it. But like I said, the whole when I'm playing hockey, my mind's on the game, I could be painting minis and have a documentary on in the background, but my mind will can still start racing about things, because it's such a slow pace, and
Mm,
I feel like slow pace. That's kind of like when I read. Like I love to read,
mm.
but when I read, I can sit there and be reading a page, and then all of a sudden my mind will just start going off, and I'm like, "Fuck, what did I just read?" I have to go back and read the whole page because
Yeah.
my mind went off, and I started thinking of other things, the things I needed to do, or something like that.
Hmm.
So yeah, that physical aspect of it, like I get all in on the physical, and
Hmm.
like everything goes in on it,
Hmm.
especially. And it's a game, like I said, so you're concentrating on the game, concentrating on what you're doing, concentrating on the position you need to be in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I get that. I love that too. Like, I had a client that was struggling with some things, a lot of anxiety issues, and during like the middle of our like 8 to 9 week process, he he found, oh my god, I can't even think of the name, but it was kind of like a jujitsu, but it wasn't jujitsu. It was kind of like that, but a lot of punching and kicking and stuff like that, and it really changed his attitude on a lot of things, and it changed his like mood
yeah,
and even his demeanor, like the way that he talked about things, and like his outlook on life was a little bit different, like just because he had a goal that he wanted to get to in whatever he was doing, and just that specific thing, it was interesting because it was like he did this maybe 2 hours a week, and he loved it, he was motivated, he couldn't wait to do it, but it helped him in his like job. He was more motivated at his job. He wasn't law enforcement, but he was more motivated to sell things. He was a salesman, and even his like his love life, like he just felt more confident and stuff. And it was interesting to see like that change, and it was quick too. It was maybe like 2 weeks where he started doing it, and
really,
just like, yeah. And I think that's it's really important to do.
yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, anything. My favorite line from a stupid ass movie, and I love it. I find it funny. Is Legally Blonde when they're talking about the her client and how she works out, and she goes, "Well, she was working out, and working out uh, releases endorphins, and endorphins make you happy, and happy people just don't kill people." That quote has stuck with me
Oh,
for years.
I love this from Legally
Yeah,
Blonde.
but it has stuck with me for years. And it's like
Mm,
it's true though. When you're happy and your endorphins are pumping, you feel better.
yeah,
You don't want to be miserable because you're in a good mood. So
yeah.
nothing truer has ever been said, but Elwood saying that in Legally Blonde.
Oh my god.
Yes, I called her by her name in the
Oh, you
movie.
did, yes. Oh man, it's like your favorite movie, isn't it?
Not my favorite, but I do enjoy that movie. I always found it funny.
Do you think that has something to do, like when you're happy, endorphins are pumping, like has something to do with your like discretion when it comes to like pulling people over and like making decisions on your own?
No,
No,
I don't think so because I mean when I'm in my job,
you don't think it affects empathy at all?
I don't know. Like we've talked about this in prior episodes. I think I'm very empathetic when it comes to work.
Yeah,
I always have been.
you don't think it's more so when your endorphins
I
are
don't know.
there?
Maybe we'll see on Monday. Let's see how I feel on
Oh,
Monday,
okay,
and I'll get
yeah,
back with you.
all right, yeah.
I've never really thought about it, so I wouldn't be able to give you a baseline on it if it's different or not. So,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I feel like whenever I work out, like I used to run, and I felt like I would run at night. I was never a morning runner. I hate mornings.
fuck
Yeah,
mornings.
fuck mornings. Screw that.
I'm a vampire, baby.
Yeah. At night, at like my hair, it was a time where like my head was clear. I could just process all the things that happened during the day and like what I was gonna do in the future. It was like my meditation. I feel like it just,
Nighttime's peaceful too.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
less busy, and people aren't out, not as many people. So yeah, it's a lot
yeah.
more peaceful.
Somber. I like that.
Yeah.
And I realized like not even the next day, but like that whole week after, I would be like, I consider myself an empath, but I felt like I was more empathetic towards people. And, I worked at mental health clinics and stuff, so there's people who are super irrational and stuff like that. But I felt like I was able to connect with them even better. And when your endorphins are pumping, right? I'm going to bring ecstasy into this,
Ooh.
MDMA. Yeah. So
All you cops out there, close your ears.
yeah, don't listen to this part. But MDMA, it enables your amygdala. So like your amygdala is part of your brain that like it senses fear, and there's a lot of anxiety towards that. So it blocks that. So basically, you don't have any fears to like say what you need to say or be more empathetic towards people because it's blocked. So like when your endorphins are pumping, your endorphins target that as well. So you're more empathetic towards people. You're more willing to, see the brighter side of things, quote unquote. And obviously, I think we've all felt that feeling after working out, not doing ecstasy, but, working out, that we're able to be more compassionate. We're able to see things from other people's perspective because, like, we're more confident with ourselves that we don't have that fear of judgment. We don't have that fear of, like, any anxiety with our insecurities or whatever. We're more prone to be more adapted to other people's experiences. And that's the beauty of working out, is just like those endorphins pumping, the dopamine releasing, all that stuff that we crave on an everyday basis. I mean, we have a huge problem worldwide of like mood disorders, like depression and anxiety, but just like running or doing something physical is going to help you with those things. I think it's just really interesting.
Okay, but what about all the homeless people that all they do is walk around and they're
They're
still
mostly on drugs, so I don't know.
true?
What do you mean? So like they're walking around, so they should be happier people?
Hmm.
Okay, so you got your like disorders that kind of, combat that problem of
Yeah.
like being super excited. I mean, it all has to do with your environment too, but
No, yeah. I mean, you're living on the streets. You're not going to be happy because you're
yeah.
walking around because that's your only way to get places.
Well,
So.
I feel like, if running was a cure to depression, like you'd see so many fucking people out on the street running. Like that would be it. It has a lot of other factors to, your mood disorders that just running isn't going to help. But if you're in the right state of mind and you're willing to like work on your shit and go do this as an extra, it's going to help.
Yeah, it makes sense though. It does. One of our dogs just
Oh
farted and
my
it's
God, this
super
is
gross.
terrible. I want to die right now. That does not get my
We might,
endorphins pumping.
might have to cut this part out of the podcast. Or not. Leave it in.
Oh, Jesus.
Understand our lives. It's always smelly in this house. Dogs, kids,
Oh,
babies.
dirty
Stinky.
diapers or dog farts. That's awesome. That one's terrible. Mm.
Welcome to our lives.
That's the thing too. Like if you have a busy life and you decided to get some dogs or some cats or pets or whatever, and have babies too, like there's like no release. There's no silence or
No,
time to
it's
yourself.
like I said earlier. We don't have the older children this weekend. My parents took them, and it's been quiet.
Mm.
It's been nice to have a quiet house for a little bit. But it's funny. It's quiet, but then they're sitting there. I'm like, oh, I fucking miss the chaos.
Oh my
Like
God,
you start missing
yeah.
your kids anyway. Like I do. Like it's nice to have the quiet. It's nice to know that hey, we can sleep in a little bit tomorrow and
Mm.
not be woken up at 7:30 in the morning because they
Mm.
want to play or do something. But
Yeah.
we get to. I still miss them. Yeah,
Yeah.
still miss them all the time.
I mean, with 4 kids, like there is screaming. I,
Constant.
I think there's maybe 2 minutes intervals that I get that there's like no screaming. It's hard. It's very overstimulating by like 6 p.m. It's like, oh my God, I'm done.
Yeah, it's almost weird if they're not screaming. You're like, oh shit, is one of them hurt?
Right? Like, what are they
Or
doing?
what are they
There's
doing?
something going on. Yeah.
No one's screaming at each other. No one's being loud. Somebody must be
Yeah.
hurt or doing something they're not supposed to.
Yeah, it's hard to get away from that. It definitely is. But if you can, you know, yeah, if you're
Go,
married and
go
you
play
have
hockey.
somebody, or yeah, you're dating someone and you have kids, like that's something you can definitely work on together to have, you know, alone time. I'm just gonna say this: driving to the grocery store is not alone time. Like taking a shower is not alone time. That's just things you have to do.
No, it's
Oh,
not alone time in our house because I take a shower and all of a sudden there's 2, 3 of them in the room. What are you doing? What the fuck do you think I'm doing? Like,
Well, no, I was picking up an order the other day because I can't go grocery shopping because I have 4 fucking kids. There's no way. I do it online and I go pick it up, and it's like 10, 12 minutes down the road, and I sit there and I play on my phone and whatever. And yeah, it's quiet time. I don't have kids in the car. You're here at the house, but that I don't consider that self care. I don't consider that alone time. That's like I'm still doing a chore
yeah, you're
around
still
here.
doing something you got to do.
Yeah, yeah. So hobbies, definitely. You don't have one, and for me, it was really hard to find one. It was because I didn't know what my interest was because like having kids and doing my schooling, like that was all I was really focused on.
Right.
To like think about myself that way was kind of hard.
Yeah, yeah.
So I branched out. I like Pinterest is amazing for like new ideas. Like wood burning and drawing. Like I started drawing and doing
Yeah,
things
yeah,
like
you're
that.
doing really good.
It was fun. It
Well,
was
and then you found airsoft, and you came out with me that one time. You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this is really fun."
That was completely outside of the box. Like
Something you would never think you'd
there was
do.
resistance there. Like I don't want to go out with a bunch of nerds in a fucking open field and shoot each other. Like that sounds like a nerdy, stupid thing. But I did it, and it was fun. I surprised myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it just sucks because it's hard to do a hobby together when you have kids because
Yeah.
who's gonna watch the kids? So
Yeah. Thank God for grandparents.
yeah,
Shout out to the grandparents.
shout out to the grandparents.
Thank you. Because if it wasn't like, yeah, we would go insane if we didn't have the time. It's nice. It's really nice to have that.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
And if you don't have the support like we do, fucking make your kids go out there and shoot them with an airsoft.
Shoot your kids with
Just shoot them.
PSA: don't actually shoot your children with an airsoft. But we did buy those little little guns, and those are fun. They don't hurt nearly as bad.
Yeah. I don't know. A 3-year-old didn't really like it, but they do not hurt nearly as bad. Yeah, that's true.
So get out there, get a podcast. Hey, seriously,
Get a
you have something you want to talk about? Get a podcast.
That's
It's a hobby.
true.
This is a hobby we do together.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it sometimes because of the kids, but this is definitely a hobby we like to do, and
Yeah.
we like that we can be out there to help people. Hopefully,
And I know I've said this in like past episodes. Like, you can't just like take your cop brain off and put your like family brain on. Like, that's not something that happens. Your brain's associating things with everything, whether it be at home or at the job. But when it comes to hobbies, like if you find something that you are so interested in, like you are with hockey, you can immerse yourself enough to like even that hour a week, hour every other week, whatever it is. Um, you're focused on that, and you technically are taking your cop brain off and just putting your hockey brain on. And that's something I think, uh, if you're not striving for it, that most police officers do need in their life to just kind of get that break.
yeah, definitely. You're right. I mean, a lot of us can't find that time or don't, or like you said, feel guilty
Yeah.
about trying to find that time, and you need to decompress somehow.
Mhm.
So if it requires an hour away from your family, hopefully if you have a spouse, your spouse is understanding,
Yeah.
and hopefully your spouse can have an hour away from the family too if they
Yeah.
need. But
And like I'm talking about, like you give me time, I give you time. That's like our life. That's what we negotiate. That's how we communicate. That's what we're okay with. If you have a spouse that feels so burnt out and like, yeah, you're already, you're gone 12 hours a shift every, so many days, and like we barely see you, and it's really hard. Now you're off and you're going off and you're doing this hobby. Like that's crap. If that's the case, like find a hobby together. Maybe even a family hobby that might
Yeah.
help too.
Yeah. Go for walks with the family.
Yeah.
Make that a hobby. You get exercise. You're pumping endorphins out, and
Yeah.
you're still with your family. And I mean, I know our kids when we go out, if we do walks, when we do them, they love it. They love going out there and ride their bikes or run
Yeah.
around, walk to the park, and
Mhm.
and that way everybody gets something they need.
Yeah.
Maybe not be the quiet time you need, but it's still it's something away from the norm, I guess.
Definitely.
When you're stuck in that same loop of work, home, yelling, screaming,
Yeah.
work, home, yelling, screaming. Oh,
Yeah.
it's my weekend and at work, but just yelling and screaming. Like, it's nice to just get a little bit of a break from that and just
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah. And if you're doing it, with your family or someone else too, it might not only help like the relationship bonding too, but like I knew a couple that needed something too, and they were very prone to like competition stuff. So like they would have like workout competitions, and even off and on duty they would always be like doing squats or whatever, like I did this many than you did, whatever. But it was like a friendly competition between a husband and wife. It was really cool to see that they kept it up, and it was something that they both enjoyed.
Yeah,
Kept their mind off shit.
it's always fun, always good.
Yeah.
Just get out there, try something. And like we said earlier, if you don't have any interest, just go try something new.
Yeah. Or
Go to
just
go to a class. Go try something. Go to a painting class. Anything. Just try something.
yeah. Or have sex.
Nah, that hobby gets us in trouble.
Have like a OnlyFans page after a while.
Is that technically a hobby, or does that still work?
Oh, that's true. A hobby that turns into work, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no limits to what hobbies
Yes.
are.
That's
what
all
I'm
we're saying.
saying.
That's all we're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
You can do whatever you want for a hobby. Just
Yeah. Luckily, you're like,
as long as it's not like serial killer and you're killing people as a hobby. Don't do that.
I don't know.
I don't suggest
I
it.
don't know. It could be fun too. Just don't get caught.
Hey, they told me to find a hobby, so I started killing people. Great. We do not think that's a good idea.
I think any psychopaths are listening to us. I don't
Probably
know.
not.
I don't know. Even like, okay, sex is not a hobby. Yeah, it's something of everyday life. But if it gets you an escape to, your everyday life, then
What about kinky sex?
non-missionary style.
Non-missionary style. Does that become a hobby? Finding new positions.
Hobby. I think that is a basic need of humans. So I don't know if I consider that a hobby.
All right.
Oh, even kinky sex. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying now. Yeah. Now it is the modern day need of sex is kinky.
Being
sex.
kinky.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, like we said, try something new. Find something new.
Go outside the box, like you're
Yeah.
saying too. Yeah. Like if it's something like you're like, oh, I've been interested in this, but I don't see myself ever doing it, go do it. You never know. You could surprise yourself. You might hate it. Don't ever do it again then.
But at least
try
you
something-
tried.
Yeah,
At least you tried something new.
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of like I was with like drawing. Like my cousin and my niece now, they're like amazing at drawing. Like they could draw something in like 5 minutes and it's like a masterpiece. And I couldn't draw stick figures. Like it was terrible. And I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And I am nowhere near them, but like I gotten better than stick figures.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed doing
drawing
it.
some really cool stuff. Like,
But I
it's really
enjoyed it
neat.
though. Like no matter what people thought of it, like I liked what the result was.
Yeah, you don't have to be good at it.
Yeah.
Just as long as you enjoy it. I'm not good at hockey, but I enjoy the hell out of it.
We're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not that great.
Yeah. If you're enjoying it, I think that's.
But I enjoy it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, do what you can. Try to find something. Get rid of that stress any way you can in a healthy way. Hobbies are a great idea. I mean, find yourself something. Like we said, go out of the box. Try something new.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to try. If you don't like it, don't do it. Try something else. That's the goal here is to find something you enjoy. Release that stress, so when you retire, you're not dead 5 years later.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a big problem too. Just when you retire and you don't know what to do because all your life was family and work. If you start that now and you find an interest, it's more easier to get into that afterwards.
Yeah. And cool thing about sports and stuff is they have old people leagues too.
Yeah.
You
Most
can go
definitely.
play old people. I know there's guys we play with that are old guys. They're older guys, and
Yeah.
it's cool seeing them get out there and still kick ass. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, I hope I can do that when I get older. Like,
Yeah.
continue to do this. Like, I wish I would have started a lot earlier, but start now, and I want to continue for as long as I can, till my body won't let me.
Yeah.
I saw a story of a guy not too long ago. He was like close to 100, and he still got out and skated and played.
Really?
He wasn't playing hard, obviously, but he
But
still would get out there.
still.
And like, how cool is that?
That's
Like,
awesome.
something you love that much that you're almost 100, and you're
Yeah.
still out there on the ice skating. Like, that's
Yeah.
cool as shit.
And I want to make this point before we go, because if your like interest is like, poetry night, where you're just going up there and like talking poetry, yes, don't be ashamed. Like, you go into those places if this is something you always wanted to do, or like, just maybe a little too scared to do it. Like, none of your cop friends are going to be there, I guarantee you. So it's like, go do that. Like,
But if they are, they're gonna make fun of you like a motherfucker.
but then you can make fun of them because they're there, and you're like, why are you there?
Why are you here?
Yeah.
Or you find a new best friend.
That's true. The guy you had beef with all this time, like, oh my god, like, you're here, like, this is weird. But like, even if it's something you feel like is not quote unquote manly, or something that's like not a police officer would do, the environment you're going to, the people that you're going to, it's probably a completely different world than what you're used to. You might actually still enjoy it, and
Yeah.
it could be your little secret. You don't have to tell anybody about it.
Yeah. Be like Ron Swanson and play saxophone from Parks and Rec. No one knew about it.
No one knew about it. So embarrassed about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that note, guys, we appreciate you listening. Sorry it's taking so long to get a new episode out, but
I had a baby.
babies. So if you're mad about it, well, I don't give a fuck, because I had a baby. Or my wife had the baby.
Yeah,
I was just there.
It was me.
I was there for moral support. So get back out there. Follow us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube. Like us, Spotify, Apple. Share us. Get it out there.
Make that your hobby.
Yeah, make sharing our podcast your hobby. Get your friends to like us and watch us. You can, if you want to talk to us, man, you got something to say, you need someone to talk to, you can always email us at thepolicecondition@gmail.com. We are more than happy, like we say every time. If you need someone, we will find time to talk to you. We will be there for you. Can't give you medical advice, but hell, if you need someone to talk to, we got you. All right? So again, thanks for listening. You have been listening to The Police Condition. My name's Ryan.
I'm Laura.
And we're 1042.